My name is Sarah, and they're destroying me. I'm tied to a post in the center of the village square. My back is bare, exposed, vulnerable, displaying the mark I've carried for 3 months, the king's mark, a silver wolf encircled by flames, beautiful, sacred, proof that King Aldrich had chosen me, and they're whipping it away. Again, Lord Damon commands. The mark must be erased, completely. No trace of the king's claim can remain. The whip cracks, sears across my back, across the mark. I scream, can't help it. The pain is indescribable, beyond physical. It's tearing at my soul, at the bond, at everything the mark represents. Stop, someone shouts. You're killing her. That's acceptable, Damon says coldly. Better she die than carry the false king's mark. Better she be erased than used as his leverage. Erase the mark. I don't care what it takes. The whip falls again, and again, and again. Each strike designed to destroy the mark, to obliterate the bond, to erase any proof that the king had chosen me. Blood runs down my back. The mark, once beautiful, once perfect, is being shredded, destroyed, turned into raw, bleeding flesh. Please, I gasp. Please stop. I'll leave. I'll go. I'll never claim the bond. Just please stop. The only way you leave is dead, or unmarked. And since the mark is permanent, Damon's smile is cruel. Dead it is. Continue. I can't take any more. The pain, the destruction, the knowledge that they're not just whipping my flesh. They're trying to destroy my bond with Aldrich, trying to erase our connection, trying to make it as if I was never chosen at all. I pass out, mercifully, finally. The darkness takes me. The last thought I have is of Aldrich, the king, my chosen mate, the wolf who marked me and promised protection. Find me, I think desperately. Please find me. Save me. Before there's nothing left to save. Then nothing. Just darkness, pain, and the terrible knowledge that I might not survive this. That the mark, and I, might be erased entirely. Before the king even knows I'm in danger. Chapter 1. The marking. 3 months before. The commoner, I was nobody. A commoner. Daughter of a blacksmith in a small village on the edge of the northern kingdom. Unremarkable in every way. Sarah, stop daydreaming and help me with the forge, my father would say. These horseshoes won't make themselves. Sorry, father, I was just thinking. About what? Some grand destiny? Some fairy tale where you're more than a blacksmith's daughter? Get your head out of the clouds and focus on reality. Reality was simple. I was ordinary. Would marry a local wolf. Have children. Live a quiet life. Die forgotten. That's what I expected. What everyone expected. What seemed inevitable. Until the king came to our village. And changed everything. The king's visit. The king is visiting. King Aldrich himself. The village erupted in excitement. The king rarely visited commoner territories. His presence was an honor. A blessing. A momentous event. Why is he here? People whispered. Trade negotiations with the northern lords. Inspection of the territories. Who knows? Who cares? The king is here. I watched from the forge as his procession entered the village. Magnificent, powerful, overwhelming. Dozens of guards, advisors, attendants, all surrounding one wolf. King Aldrich Stormcrown, 30 years old, ruler of the northern kingdom for 8 years, unmarried, unmated. The most powerful alpha in 3 territories, and breathtakingly handsome. Tall, broad, dark hair, silver blue eyes that seemed to see everything, commanding presence that made every wolf instinctively submit. He's magnificent, my friend Mira whispered, like something out of legends. He's a king. Of course he's magnificent. That's his job. Aren't you even a little curious? Don't you want to see him up close? I'm a blacksmith's daughter. He's the king. We exist in completely different worlds. Why would I be curious about someone so far above me? But I was curious, desperately curious, about what it would be like to be noticed by someone like that, to matter to someone so powerful, to be seen as more than just ordinary. The encounter, the king's horse threw a shoe. Simple accident. But it meant he needed a blacksmith, which meant he came to our forge. "I need this repaired," one of his guards said, leading the horse. "Quickly, the king is waiting." "Of course, right away." My father scrambled to service. I stayed in the background, trying to be invisible. But the king followed the guard. Wanted to inspect the work personally, ensure quality. "You do good work," he said, watching my father. "Precise, careful, exactly what's needed." "Thank you, Your Majesty. It's an honor." "Your daughter assists you?" The king's silver blue eyes had found me, were studying me with intensity that made my breath catch. "Yes, Your Majesty. Sarah helps with the forge. She's skilled, quick learner." "Sarah?" He said my name like it was important, meaningful. "Come here." I approached. Nervous, terrified. Couldn't meet his eyes. Just stared at the ground, showing submission, respect, fear. "Look at me." A command, gentle but firm. I looked up, met those silver blue eyes, and felt something. Click, shift, connect. The bond, the recognition. The moment when the moon goddess reveals your fated mate. His eyes widened, shocked, recognizing the same thing. "You, Your Majesty?" My father noticed the strange tension. "Is something wrong?" "No, nothing wrong. Everything." The king stopped, composed himself. "Everything is perfect. The shoe is ready?" "Yes, Your Majesty. Just finished." "Good. Excellent work. You'll be compensated generously." He left, but not before looking back at me one more time. Silver blue eyes burning with intensity, with recognition, with possibility. My fated mate. The moon goddess had chosen my fated mate, and he was the king. The summons. 3 days later, a royal messenger arrived at our forge. "Sarah, daughter of Marcus the blacksmith, you are summoned to the palace, by order of King Aldrich. You are to come immediately." "What? Why? What does the king want with my daughter?" My father was panicking. "That's not my concern. I'm simply delivering the summons. She comes or she faces consequences for defying royal command." "I'll go," I said quickly. "I'll go. Just let me change into something appropriate." "You have 10 minutes. The king is waiting." I changed, packed minimally. Had no idea what this was about. Why the king would summon me. What he wanted. But I knew. Deep down, I knew. He'd felt it too. The bond. The recognition. And he was acting on it. "Be careful," my father said as I left. "Kings are dangerous. Especially when they want something. Don't trust anything he says. Don't let him use you." "I'll be careful." But I wasn't careful. I was hopeful. Terrified. Excited. All at once. The king, my fated mate, had summoned me, and nothing would ever be the same. "The proposal, you felt it," the king said when I was brought before him. "Private audience. Just us. No witnesses. 3 days ago, at the forge. You felt the bond." "Yes, Your Majesty. And you know what it means. You're my fated mate. The moon goddess chose us for each other." "Yes?" "Exactly. And now we have a decision to make." He paced, agitated, torn. "I'm the king. I should mate for political advantage, form alliances, strengthen the kingdom. Taking a commoner as my mate, as my queen, that's foolish, weak, inappropriate. I understand, Your Majesty. You don't have to. I won't tell anyone. I'll go home. We can pretend this never happened." "No." He stopped pacing, faced me fully. "No, we can't pretend. Because I've spent 3 days trying to convince myself to ignore this. To choose duty over destiny, To mate politically instead of following the moon goddess's will. And I can't. I can't ignore what we are, what we're meant to be. What are you saying? I'm saying I'm choosing you, commoner or not, political disadvantage or not, difficulty or not. I'm choosing you as my mate, my queen, my fated partner. If you'll have me. If I'll, your majesty, you're the king. I'm nobody. Why would I refuse? Because being queen isn't easy. Because there will be opposition. Because some will see you as unworthy. Because this choice will make both our lives complicated. Because I need you to choose this freely, not because you're awed by my crown. Looking at him, really looking at him, I saw past the king, saw Aldrich, a wolf who'd felt the same bond I did, who was choosing destiny over duty, who was offering me everything. Yes, I said, I choose you. I choose this. I choose us. His smile was radiant, relieved. Then we do this properly. I'll mark you, publicly, declare you my chosen mate, my future queen, and anyone who objects can, he stopped, can learn to accept it. The marking ceremony was held 3 days later, public, witnessed by hundreds, making our bond official, irrevocable. The king will now mark his chosen mate, the officiant announced, displaying his claim, his commitment, his choice. Aldrich approached me, gentle despite his power, tender despite the public setting. This will hurt, but only for a moment. Then the mark will bond us, make you mine and me yours, permanently. Are you ready? I'm ready. He bit. Not my neck. That was for private claiming. For intimacy. This was the shoulder. Visible. Public. Declaring ownership and partnership both. The pain was sharp, intense, but brief. Then came the magic. The bond settling in. The mark forming. Silver and beautiful and permanent. A silver wolf encircled by flames. Aldrich's personal sigil, marking me as his, as chosen, as queen. I present my chosen mate, Aldrich announced to the court. Sarah, soon to be queen. She bears my mark, my claim, my bond. She is mine, and I am hers. Now and forever. The court erupted, some cheering, some shocked, some disapproving. A commoner queen? The king chose a blacksmith's daughter? This is unprecedented, inappropriate, unacceptable. But it was done. I bore his mark, was bonded to him, was going to be queen whether they liked it or not. Ignore them, Aldrich whispered. They'll accept it. Or they'll leave. Either way, you're mine now. Nothing changes that. I touched the mark, still tender, still burning slightly, but beautiful, perfect, proof that a king had chosen me. I should have been happier, should have been celebrating, should have been ecstatic. But something felt wrong, a chill in the air, a darkness in some eyes watching me, a sense that this wasn't over, that opposition wouldn't just disappear because the king willed it. That bearing the king's mark made me powerful, but also vulnerable, a target for anyone who wanted to hurt the king. I dismissed the feeling, told myself I was being paranoid, that everything would be fine. I was so wrong. Chapter 2, The Opposition, 3 months later. The queen in waiting, 3 months as the king's chosen mate. 3 months of learning to be queen. 3 months of facing opposition. You don't belong here, nobles would whisper. A commoner in the palace. It's disgraceful. The king should have chosen someone appropriate, someone of status, someone worthy. That mark, it's a stain on the crown, on the kingdom, on everything we represent. I tried to ignore them, tried to prove myself worthy, tried to be the queen Aldrich believed I could be. You're doing well, he'd reassure me. Learning quickly, adapting. They'll accept you eventually. What if they don't? What if I'm always the commoner who doesn't belong? Then they're fools, and I'll choose you over them. every time. Always. His confidence helped, but it didn't erase the hostility, the resentment, the feeling that half the court wanted me gone. Lord Damon. The worst opposition came from Lord Damon Blackthorne, High Lord of the Northern Territories, powerful, wealthy, influential. The king made a mistake, he told me directly, publicly. Choosing you was weakness, sentimentality, poor judgment. The moon goddess chose us. That's not weakness. The moon goddess doesn't rule kingdoms. Kings do. And kings must choose mates who strengthen their position, not weaken it. I strengthen him. I support him. You're a commoner, a nobody, a stain on the crown. The king deserves better. The kingdom deserves better. And eventually he'll realize that. He'll set you aside, return to his senses, choose appropriately. He won't. We're bonded, marked, fated mates. Marks can be removed, bonds can be broken. Nothing is permanent except power, and your power, such as it is, won't last. The threat was clear. Lord Damon wanted me gone, permanently, and he'd work to make that happen. He's dangerous, my handmaid warned. Lord Damon has significant influence, control over the Northern Lords. If he turns them against you, against the king, it could mean civil war. Over me? Over a commoner queen? That's ridiculous. It's politics, and in politics, everything is an excuse for power plays. You're not just a commoner, you're a symbol. The king choosing heart over duty, personal desire over political advantage. That terrifies the nobles, makes them think he'll always choose emotion over strategy, that he's weak. Aldrich isn't weak. We know that, but they need to believe it. And as long as you're queen, they'll see you as proof of weakness, as evidence that the king can be manipulated, as a vulnerability they can exploit. What should I do? Be careful, watch your back, don't trust anyone, and stay close to the king. He's the only real protection you have. I tried, but Aldrich was busy, ruling, dealing with unrest, managing opposition. We had less time together as political pressures mounted, and I became more isolated, more vulnerable, more exposed to enemies I didn't fully understand. The plan. What I didn't know was that Lord Damon was planning, plotting, working to remove me permanently. The mark must be erased, he told his conspirators. As long as she bears the king's claim, he'll protect her. We'll fight for her. We'll choose her over political necessity. How do we erase a king's mark? They're permanent, sacred, protected by magic. Permanent unless destroyed. The mark is on her flesh. Destroy the flesh. Destroy the mark. Simple. You're talking about torture, mutilation. The king will retaliate. The king won't know. We'll take her during his trip to the Eastern Territories. Erase the mark. Make it look like she fled, abandoned him, rejected the crown. He'll be humiliated, enraged at her. Not us. By the time he discovers the truth, if he ever does, it'll be too late. And if she survives? If she tells him what really happened? She won't survive. Erasing the mark requires extensive damage. Damage incompatible with life. She'll die. Unmarked. The king will mourn his runaway mate. Eventually choose appropriately. And will guide that choice. Ensure he picks someone advantageous. Someone we control. It was perfect. Ruthless. And completely ready to execute. They just needed the right moment. The right opportunity. The right time when I was vulnerable and Aldrich was away. The Eastern trip. I have to go to the Eastern Territories, Aldrich told me. Political negotiations, trade agreements. It'll take a week, maybe 2. Can I come with you? I want you to. But the journey is hard, dangerous. And you're still learning queen duties. Better if you stay here. Continue your education. I'll be back before you know it. I don't like you leaving. Something feels wrong. Like something bad is going to happen. Nothing will happen. The palace is secure, guarded. You're safe here. I promise. He kissed the mark on my shoulder. Gentle, reverent. This mark means you're mine, protected. Nothing can change that. I'll return soon. Then we'll have the official coronation. Make you queen, in fact, not just name. I love you. I love you too. Always. No matter what. He left. I watched him go, feeling dread, certainty that something was wrong, that I shouldn't let him leave. But I did. Because I trusted the palace, trusted the guards, trusted that I was safe. I was so wrong. The abduction. They came for me 2 nights after Aldrich left. In the darkness, quiet, efficient, professional. I woke to a cloth over my face, chloroform. Couldn't fight, couldn't scream, just darkness, consciousness fading, terror mounting. When I woke, I was bound, gagged, in a cart heading somewhere unknown, surrounded by Lord Damon's men. She's awake, one reported. Good. She should be conscious for this. Should understand what's happening. What we're doing. Why? Lord Damon appeared, smiled coldly. Hello, Your Majesty. Or should I say, former Majesty. Because by the time we're done, you won't be queen anymore. Won't be marked anymore. Won't be anything anymore. I tried to speak, to demand, to threaten. But the gag muffled everything. We're going to erase the king's mark, remove his claim, make it as if you were never chosen. It will hurt, extensively, fatally, most likely, but that's acceptable. Better you die unmarked than live as his weakness. He showed me the whip. Specially made, barbed, designed to flay flesh, to destroy completely. This will take time, days, probably, to fully erase the mark, to obliterate every trace. But we have time. The king won't return for a week. By then you'll be gone. The mark will be destroyed, and he'll believe you abandoned him. Ran away. Couldn't handle being queen. I shook my head desperately. Tried to communicate that Aldrich would know, would investigate, would destroy them for this. He won't know. We've arranged evidence of your departure, letters in your handwriting saying you couldn't handle the pressure, that you were returning home, that the mark was a mistake. He'll be hurt, humiliated, furious at you, not us. Perfect. We arrived at a remote village, loyal to Lord Damon, willing to do anything he commanded. They tied me to a post in the square, stripped my back, exposed the mark. Beautiful. Silver. The king's claim, about to be destroyed. Begin, Lord Damon commanded. Erase the mark. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care if she survives. Just erase it. Completely. And the whipping began. Chapter 3. The erasure. The first strike was agony. Pure, unfiltered, overwhelming. The whip was barbed, designed to tear flesh, to rip, to shred, to destroy. It struck directly across the mark, across the silver wolf, across Aldrich's claim. I screamed into the gag, couldn't help it. The pain was beyond anything I'd experienced, beyond anything I'd imagined. Again, Damon commanded. Strike the same spot, layer the damage, destroy the mark completely. The second strike hit the same place, tearing deeper, ripping through skin, damaging the mark, trying to obliterate the bond itself. Through the pain, I felt something else. The bond screaming. Aldrich was hundreds of miles away, but our bond was strong, and it was being damaged, destroyed, erased. Could he feel it? Could he sense what was happening? Did he know I was in agony? Please, I thought desperately, please feel this. Please know. Please come. The systematic destruction. They whipped me for hours, systematically, methodically, determined to erase every trace of the mark. Is it gone yet? Damon would ask. Not completely. The mark is magical, resistant. We need to damage deeper, remove more flesh. Then do it. I want that mark obliterated, I want no trace of the king's claim remaining. More strikes, more pain, more damage. My back was raw, bleeding, shredded, but the mark, despite the damage, still showed through. Faint, damaged, but recognizable. The silver wolf persisted. Aldrich's claim remained. It won't erase, someone observed. The mark is too deep, too magical, too permanent. We could whip her to death and traces would remain. Then whip her to death, Damon said coldly. If the mark can't be erased while she lives, then she dies. Either way, she's no longer queen. The king will know. When he returns, when he discovers her dead, he'll investigate, he'll find us. He'll find a runaway mate who died in her flight. Tragic, but her choice. Not our responsibility. Continue. The consciousness. I faded in and out of consciousness. The pain too much. The damage too extensive. My body trying to escape through unconsciousness. Don't let her pass out, Damon commanded. I want her aware. Want her to feel every strike. Want her to know we're erasing her bond. Destroying her connection. Making her nothing. They threw water on me. Kept me conscious. Kept me aware. Kept me feeling every agonizing moment. Why are you doing this? I managed to gasp when the gag loosened. What did I do to deserve this? You existed. You caught the king's attention. You made him weak. You represent everything wrong with his rule, choosing heart over duty, emotion over strategy, love over power. You have to be erased. Completely. So he can return to being the king he should be. He'll never forgive this. He'll destroy you. Destroy everyone involved. He loves me. He loved a commoner who couldn't handle being queen, who ran away, who rejected him. By the time we're done, that's what he'll believe. That's what everyone will believe. Your death will be your own fault, not ours. The breaking point. By the second day, I was breaking, not just physically, mentally, spiritually. The bond was damaged. Aldrich felt distant, unreachable, like the connection was being severed along with the mark. Please, I begged. Please stop. I'll leave. I'll renounce the crown. I'll tell Aldrich I don't want this. Just, please stop. Too late. The mark is damaged. You're damaged. Only way forward is complete erasure. And that means your death. Then kill me quickly, please. Don't make me suffer like this. Just end it, mercifully. No mercy for those who weaken kings. You suffer until the mark is gone. Until you're gone. Until the king is free to choose appropriately. More whipping, more pain, more systematic destruction. The mark, once beautiful, was being shredded. The silver wolf was barely visible. Aldrich's claim was being obliterated. And I was dying. Slowly, painfully, piece by piece. The third day. By the third day, I'd accepted death, welcomed it. Anything to end the pain, the suffering, the knowledge that I was being erased. The mark is nearly gone, someone reported. Just traces remaining. A few more hours should complete the erasure. Good. Finish it. Then dispose of the body. Make it look like she died fleeing, fell, accident, natural causes, something that can't be traced to us. And the king? Will mourn, will rage, will eventually move on, will choose better, will thank us eventually for removing this weakness. They raised the whip for what might be the final time, for the strike that would complete the erasure. That would destroy the last traces of Aldrich's mark. That would end everything. But before the whip could fall, a roar, massive, powerful, furious, the sound of an enraged alpha. Stop, Aldrich! He'd come, he'd found me. He'd arrived before they could complete the erasure, and he was absolutely, utterly furious. Chapter 4. The Discovery, Aldrich's Perspective. The distance, I'd been in the Eastern Territories for 3 days when I felt it. The bond, screaming, in agony, being damaged, destroyed. Something's wrong, I told my beta. Sarah, she's in pain. The bond it's being attacked. Damaged. Are you certain? Could it be illness? Accident? This is intentional. Systematic. Someone is hurting her. Deliberately. Trying to... I couldn't finish. The implications were too horrible. Trying to what? Trying to erase the mark. Destroy the bond. Remove her as my mate. That's impossible. Marks are permanent. Unless destroyed. Unless the flesh itself is obliterated. Someone is whipping her. Torturing her. Trying to erase my claim. We need to return. Now. Immediately. Agreed. Gather everyone. We leave now. Full speed. I don't care about negotiations or politics. Sarah is in danger. Nothing else matters. The journey. The journey back took 3 days. 3 days of feeling Sarah's agony through the bond. 3 days of helpless rage. 3 days of plotting revenge on whoever was doing this. The bond is weakening, I told my beta on the 2nd day. The damage is extensive. If they succeed, if they erase the mark, I lose her. The bond breaks. She dies or becomes unmarked. Either way, I lose her. We're moving as fast as we can. It's not fast enough. She's dying, being tortured. And I'm too far away to help, too far away to save her, too far away to protect what's mine. You'll save her. We'll make it. We'll stop them. If we're too late, if they've already erased the mark, then we'll deal with it. But we're not too late. We can't be too late. Hold on. Feel the bond. Stay connected. Let her know you're coming. I focused on the bond. Sent everything I had through it. Strength. Comfort. Promise of rescue. Hold on, Sarah. I'm coming. I feel you. I know you're suffering. But I'm coming. Hold on. Please, hold on. The arrival. We arrived on the 3rd day, followed the bond to a remote village, loyal to Lord Damon. I should have known, should have suspected, should have prevented this. I smelled her blood before I saw her, smelled the agony, the torture, the systematic destruction. Then I saw her, tied to a post, back shredded. The mark, my mark, damaged almost beyond recognition. Barely alive, barely conscious. And they were about to strike again, about to deliver the blow that would complete the erasure, that would destroy the last traces of my claim. Stop! I roared. Alpha command, irresistible, overwhelming. Everyone froze. I shifted, massive, enraged, more wolf than man. Let my alpha power radiate. Let everyone feel exactly what they were dealing with. Step away from her, now, or I'll tear you apart where you stand. The confrontation. Your Majesty. Lord Damon appeared, calm, collected, like he hadn't just orchestrated the torture of my mate. You've returned early, unexpected. I thought you'd be gone another week. The bond told me otherwise. Told me my mate was being tortured, being destroyed. I came to save her, and to punish everyone involved. This is a misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding. You abducted my mate, tortured her, tried to erase my mark, tried to destroy our bond. That's treason, punishable by death. She's a commoner, unworthy of being queen. We were doing you a favor, removing the weakness, freeing you to choose appropriately. Appropriately? You call torturing my fated mate appropriate? You call trying to erase a sacred bond appropriate? You call treason appropriate? The nobles agree with me. The northern lords support this action. You choosing a commoner was weakness. We're correcting your mistake. My only mistake was trusting you, leaving Sarah vulnerable, not seeing the threat you represented. Those were mistakes. Choosing Sarah, loving Sarah, marking Sarah. Those weren't mistakes. Those were the best decisions I ever made. And you tried to destroy them. Destroy her. What are you going to do? You can't punish all of us. The Northern Lords. Watch me. The rescue. I went to Sarah first, gently removed the bonds, carefully lifted her. Her back was destroyed, the mark barely visible, but she was alive. Barely. Critically. But alive. I found you, I whispered. I'm here. You're safe. I've got you. Her eyes opened. Barely. Aldrich? You came. Always. I'll always come for you. Always save you. Always choose you, no matter what. The mark. They destroyed it. I'm not yours anymore. You're always mine. Mark or no mark. Bond damaged or intact. You're mine and I'm yours. Nothing changes that. Nothing erases that. Nothing. I turned to my beta. Take her, gently. Get her to the healers. Do everything possible to save her. I don't care about the mark. I care about her. Save Sarah. That's all that matters. What about you? I'm staying. I have traitors to deal with. A kingdom to reshape. Justice to dispense. Go. Save her. I'll handle this. They took Sarah, carefully, gently, racing to get her to healers, to save her life, to repair what these bastards had destroyed. And I turned to face the traitors, the wolves who'd dared to hurt what was mine, who'd tried to erase my bond, who'd tortured my chosen mate. You wanted to know what I'd do, I said to Lord Damon. Let me show you. Chapter 5. The Destruction, the Judgment. Every wolf involved in this, step forward. Now. Last chance for honesty. Silence. No one moved. Everyone trying to hide, to avoid responsibility, to pretend innocence. Fine. Then everyone in this village is guilty. Everyone who watched. Who knew? Who allowed this to happen? All of you. Your Majesty, please, we were following orders. Following orders to torture the Queen? Following orders to commit treason? That's not a defense. That's an admission of guilt. You can't punish an entire village. Watch me. I let my alpha power explode. Full force. Unrestrained. Overwhelming. Every wolf in the village dropped to their knees. Forced to submit. Forced to acknowledge their alpha. Forced to feel his wrath. You tried to erase my mark, to destroy my bond, to remove my mate. That's treason. The punishment for treason is death. All of you. Death. Your Majesty, mercy. You showed Sarah no mercy. You tortured her for 3 days. Whipped her until the mark was nearly gone. Until she was nearly dead. You showed no mercy. You receive none. The Northern Lords will object. The Northern Lords can submit or die with you. Their choice. But anyone who supported this, anyone who knew and didn't stop it, anyone who thinks torturing my mate is acceptable, they all die. Starting now. The Northern Lords. Your Majesty. A messenger arrived. The Northern Lords have assembled. They're demanding you stop this. Demanding you show mercy. Demanding you remember your duty to the kingdom. Tell them to come here, to this village, to see what was done to their queen, to understand why I'm doing this, and if they still object, they can join the condemned. The Northern Lords came, saw Sarah's blood still on the post, saw the evidence of torture, saw the systematic destruction. Some were horrified. We didn't know. We thought Damon was just... We didn't know he'd actually torture her. You supported removing her. You agreed she was a weakness. You enabled this. We argued for her replacement, politically, legally, not torture, not murder. This is beyond what we agreed to. You agreed that a commoner queen was unacceptable, that my choice was weakness, that she needed to be removed. This, I gestured to the blood. This is the logical conclusion of that belief. This is what happens when you decide some wolves don't matter, when you value politics over people, when you see my mate as disposable. We're sorry. We were wrong. Your apology means nothing. You enabled this. You created the environment where Damon felt comfortable doing this. You're all guilty, all complicit, all condemned. The choice. I'm giving you a choice, all of you, the Northern Lords, the villagers, everyone who supported this, everyone who enabled it, everyone who thought removing Sarah was acceptable. What choice? Submit completely, publicly, permanently. Accept Sarah as queen. Swear loyalty to her. Acknowledge her worth. Defend her claim. Or die. Those are your options. Choose now. That's not a choice. It's more choice than you gave Sarah. She didn't get to choose whether to be tortured. Didn't get to choose whether to be marked for erasure. Didn't get to choose whether to suffer. You get a choice. Submit or die. Choose. They chose. One by one. Starting with the Northern Lords, who'd been horrified by the torture. Then the ones who'd supported Damon politically, but not violently. Then the villagers who'd watched, but not participated. All of them submitting. All of them swearing loyalty. All of them acknowledging Sarah as their queen. All except Damon and his direct conspirators. I don't submit, Damon said defiantly. I don't acknowledge a commoner queen. I don't regret trying to remove her. My only regret is failing to erase the mark completely. Failing to finish what we started. Then you die. Publicly. Painfully. As an example to anyone else who thinks hurting my mate is acceptable. The execution. I killed Lord Damon myself. Publicly. In the same square where he'd tortured Sarah. Let everyone watch. Let everyone see the cost of treason. The price of hurting what was mine. It wasn't quick. Wasn't merciful. Was exactly as painful as what he'd done to Sarah. Justice. Revenge. Warning. Let this be known, I announced to the assembled crowd. Anyone who harms the queen, anyone who threatens her, anyone who sees her as a target, this is your fate. Painful death, public execution, absolute destruction. The queen is under my protection, permanently, irrevocably. Hurt her, and you hurt me, and I will destroy you. The conspirators died next. All of them. Everyone directly involved in the torture, in the whipping, in attempting to erase the mark. Their deaths were public, brutal, designed to send a message, to ensure no one ever thought hurting Sarah was survivable. The Northern Lords who supported this politically but not violently, you live, but you're stripped of titles, stripped of lands, stripped of influence. You exist at my mercy. Behave or join Damon. Choose wisely. The aftermath. With the traitors dead and the enablers stripped of power, I returned to the palace. To Sarah. To see if the healers had managed to save her. She's alive, the head healer reported. Barely. The damage was extensive. The torture nearly killed her. But she's strong. Stronger than anyone realized. She's going to survive. And the mark? Damaged. Severely damaged. We can't restore it completely. The flesh is too destroyed. But traces remain. The bond persists. She's still marked. Still yours. Just scarred. The mark will never look like it did. But it's still there. I don't care what it looks like. As long as she's alive. As long as she's mine. As long as the bond persists. Everything else is fixable. I went to her chambers. Found her unconscious. Bandaged, healing slowly, but alive. I sat beside her, took her hand, felt the bond, damaged but present, weaker but persistent, still connecting us despite everything. I'm here, I whispered. I saved you. I destroyed everyone who hurt you. I remade the kingdom to protect you. I chose you. Over everything. Over everyone. Always you. Her hand squeezed mine. Weak, but definite. She heard me. She knew. She understood. The mark is damaged, scarred. Never going to look perfect again. But it's there. You're mine. I'm yours. Nothing changes that. Not torture. Not erasure attempts. Not anything. You're my queen, my mate, my everything, and I'll spend the rest of my life proving that. Epilogue. 1 year later. The coronation ceremony celebrated Sarah's official crowning as queen. 1 year after the torture. 1 year after the destruction of the Northern conspiracy. 1 year of healing and rebuilding. You look beautiful, I told her as she prepared. The scarred mark visible on her shoulder. No longer hidden, no longer shameful. Worn proudly. The mark is damaged, ugly, scarred. The mark is perfect. It shows you survived, shows you're strong, shows that even torture couldn't erase our bond. I love that mark, every scarred inch of it. The nobles still whisper about the commoner queen, about how I'm not worthy. The nobles who whispered are dead or stripped of power. The new nobles, the ones who replaced them, they support you, respect you, acknowledge your worth. And if any don't, well, they learned what happens to wolves who threaten you. You destroyed half the northern lords for me, remade the entire political structure, chose me over stability. I chose you over everything. I'll always choose you, over kingdoms, over thrones, over power, over everything. You're all that matters. Looking at the mark, scarred but present, damaged but enduring, I remembered that terrible day. The day I'd found her being tortured. The day I'd destroyed a conspiracy. The day I'd proven that kingdoms meant nothing compared to her. Do you regret it? Sarah asked. Destroying so much for one person? For me? Never. Best decision I ever made. They tried to erase my mark, to destroy our bond, to remove you from my life. I responded by erasing them, by destroying their power, by removing them from existence. Fair trade. They called you mad, a king who'd burn his kingdom for a commoner. I didn't burn my kingdom. I burned the parts that tried to hurt you, the parts that saw you as weakness, the parts that valued politics over people. I remade the kingdom into something better. Something that values all wolves, where commoners can be queens, where marks matter more than politics, where love is strength, not weakness. The coronation was beautiful, public, witnessed by thousands, the new northern lords, the common people, everyone who'd learned that Sarah was queen, permanently, irrevocably, protected, absolutely. I present Queen Sarah, I announced, she who survived torture, she who bears my mark, scarred but unbroken, she who proves that strength comes from surviving, she who is my mate, my queen, my everything. The crowd erupted, cheering, supporting, accepting. A year of effort, a year of rebuilding, a year of proving Sarah's worth had paid off. They accept you now, I whispered. Not because they were forced, because you've proven yourself, shown your strength, demonstrated your worth. You've become the queen they needed, the queen I always knew you could be. Because you believed in me, because you saved me, because you destroyed everything that tried to hurt me. Because I love you, because you're mine, because that mark, damaged or not, makes you my queen. Nothing changes that. Nothing erases that. Nothing. Later in private, Sarah touched the scarred mark. I used to hate this, hated the scars, the damage, the reminder of what they did. And now? Now I see it as proof. Proof they tried to erase me and failed. Proof the bond survived torture. Proof that you chose me, destroyed kingdoms for me, remade the world for me. These scars prove I'm worth fighting for, worth burning worlds for, worth everything. You are. You always were. You always will be. They whipped you to erase my mark. I destroyed the kingdom to save my chosen bride. Fair trade. Perfect trade. Would do it again without hesitation. And I would, because kingdoms rebuild. Thrones can be reclaimed. Power can be regained. But Sarah, my chosen mate, my scarred queen, my everything. She's irreplaceable, priceless, worth every destruction, every sacrifice, every choice. They tried to erase the king's mark. Instead, they learned that some bonds can't be broken. Some marks can't be erased. Some loves are worth destroying everything for. Sarah was my everything. The mark, scarred but enduring, proved it. And I'd proven I meant it. By destroying everyone who tried to come between us. By remaking the kingdom into one that valued her. By choosing her over absolutely everything else. Never again would anyone dare threaten my queen. Never again would anyone try to erase my mark. Never again would anyone mistake my love for weakness. Because they'd learned, painfully, publicly, permanently. The king's mark couldn't be erased. The king's mate couldn't be removed. The king's love couldn't be broken. And anyone who tried? They faced complete and utter destruction. Every time. Without exception. Without mercy. Just as it should be. Closing. And there you have it, my beautiful dreamers. The story of Sarah and Aldrich, proof that marks bond souls deeper than flesh. Torture can't break true love, and some kings will burn entire kingdoms to save the one who carries their mark. Did this story move you? Did you feel Sarah's pain and Aldrich's fury? Did you believe in his absolute devotion? Then show me some love. Hit that like button, drop a comment telling me what you think about his destruction of the Northern Lords, and subscribe to Luna's romance audiobooks so you never miss another tale of bonds that can't be broken. I want to know, would you have chosen your mate over your kingdom? Would you have destroyed those who hurt them? Is love worth burning the world for? Tell me in the comments. Until next time, my dreamers, may your bonds be unbreakable, your marks be sacred, and your mates be willing to destroy anything that threatens you. This is Luna, signing off. Sweet dreams, beautiful souls, beautiful.